What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a summer favorites. I have a full face of makeup over here that I'm going to be putting on. I'm going to be going through one of my favorite makeup routines that I've been doing lately and some of my favorite summertime products, and I'll be talking through all of that. And then I have another little box over here filled with some other beauty items that I've been loving for the summertime. So I hope that you guys are going to enjoy today's video. Let me know some of your favorite items for the summertime, whether it's makeup related or just beauty item related. I want to know down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and of course subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So because I have two completely different categories of favorites here, my makeup favorites and my non-makeup favorites, I am going to start off first with my non-makeup favorites. So let's dive in. So the first item that I want to talk about is a body care product that has really been saving my arm skin so much. This is the Ren AHA Smart Renewal Body Serum. Now I have spoken about my keratosis pilaris before because I have tried and loved other products that have really helped the bumps on the sides of my arms. I know a lot of people do have this, I don't know, I guess you could call it a skin condition. Now during the summertime, I do get a little bit more self-conscious about my KP just because my arms are exposed, and when it does get really bad and I get kind of like a flare up, you really do see the bumps. And it's really not the biggest deal in the world, but there are a couple products that I have found really help my flare-ups. The thing is though, is as soon as I stop using them, they pop up again. So I really got to make sure that I'm pretty diligent with the products that I do use. So I have spoken about the First Day Beauty KP body scrub a couple times in the past, and I still do use and love that so much. However, I do find that because it's the summertime and I'm obviously wearing SPF on my body, I find that the SPF actually irritates my KP and it does make it worse. So I've been having to kind of go in double duty and use another product that's meant to just kind of calm down the bumps. So this is another magical product. This is the Ren AHA Smart Renewal Body Serum. This in combination with the KP scrub. So this is essentially called a moisturizing body serum, but it's really just a moisturizer. It looks like a normal moisturizer. As you can see, it's not like an oil or anything. And so because it is a chemical exfoliator, it just does a really good job of smoothing out the arms. And so I've been using this in conjunction with the scrub, and it's been really helping the flare-ups. This also smells like a creamsicle, which is delicious and it's definitely a plus. Personally for me, this wouldn't be a moisturizer that I would put all over my body because it does have a slightly like stickier texture. It's not a super comfortable moisturizer to wear, but it does work. It's very effective. Definitely recommend this if you are looking for another KP defense product. All right, let's talk about deodorant because I mean, deodorant is, you know, a thing throughout the entire year, but during the summertime, for me at least, very important to have a deodorant that actually works because I sweat, people. I sweat a lot, okay? So this portion of the video is in collaboration with Native, which is very exciting. You guys know that I've been using and loving Native for years now. I think I first started talking about Native like 3 or 4 years ago on my channel, and I have partnered up with them before, and I'm very excited to continue partnering up with them because they are so awesome. So Native is a paraben and aluminum-free deodorant. Now I switched to aluminum-free deodorants a couple years ago, and after going through what felt like the entire world supply of aluminum-free deodorants, Native is one of the very few that I actually feel like works on me. There are a couple reasons why I really love the Native deodorant, especially for the summertime. First of all, it's not super thick and gloopy in texture. You know those deodorants where when you lift up your arm, it's just like a white clumpy mess just embedded in the creases of your armpits? This deodorant, as you can see, does not do that. There are no clumps in my armpits, which is fantastic. To me, that is especially important when I am wearing tank tops, which obviously I do quite a bit in the summertime. Native does have a ton of different scents. One of my all-time favorites is the vanilla coconut. That's like my go-to for all year round, but I did decide to switch it up for the summertime and I got the citrus and herbal musk. I feel like this is kind of the perfect summer deodorant scent. It does have a nice citrusy undertone, and it also has this really nice, very subtle undertone of musk. It almost smells a little bit cologne-y, which I do really enjoy actually. Now, I was honestly never a big scented deodorant person. I always went to the unscented version of any deodorant that I would try, and I actually do also really like the unscented version of the Native deodorant, but I do find that all of the Native scents aren't super overpowering or in your face. Native was super generous to give me a code for you guys so that you can get 33% off. 3 deodorants are normally $36, but if you do use my code, you'll get it for $24. So Native, citrus, and herbal musk is my summer deodorant of choice. All right, let's talk about my favorite summer fragrance. Now, I've been trying to figure out what my summer scent was going to be because every season I do like to switch up my perfume. So I do actually really enjoy mixing perfumes together because I find it just creates a really unique fragrance and you just don't smell like everybody else. It kind of just makes things a little bit more interesting. So I have been mixing this replica Springtime in the Park perfume with my tried and true vanilla musk oil. I've spoken about this quite a bit on my channel. I pretty much use this vanilla musk oil with everything because I just find that it takes whatever perfume I'm wearing and it just brings it to a whole nother level. I just started doing this combo, but every single time that I put this on my body, I can't stop smelling myself. So this replica Springtime in the Park fragrance I find is very lightweight. It is kind of a nice balance of floral and fruitiness. And a lot of the times I find most floral fragrances just turn me off completely. I find that they're just way too overpowering, but I think this has a perfect balance of those fruity notes to kind of just make those floral notes a little bit less like musky and in your face. So I do like to mix it with my vanilla musk perfume because I mean, I always like vanilla. I feel like vanilla is always a good idea and it just adds the most beautiful warmth to this scent, but it still does preserve that really nice freshness that this perfume does have because on its own, vanilla musk is like a pretty warm, very standard, like fall winter scent, but together they kind of transform each other into like the most perfect summertime scent that's both warm but also fresh, fruity, and floral. It's like the best of both worlds in all directions. So let me just brief over some SPFs. I have mentioned these quite a bit in my recent videos, so I don't want to be too redundant, but SPF is obviously a huge thing for the summertime. You need to be protecting your skin. So I do have 2 SPFs depending if I'm wearing makeup or not. Both of these do work really well underneath makeup, but I do prefer the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen for my makeup. This sunscreen is so unlike any other sunscreen I've ever tried. It's a completely clear formula. So it pretty much looks like almost a silicone primer. When you put it onto your skin, it first of all leaves no white cast and it also feels literally like a makeup primer. It just leaves this really nice, almost silky residue on the face. So your foundation actually does apply really beautifully right on top. To find a sunscreen that works perfectly underneath makeup, is lightweight, does not leave a white residue, and just kind of disappears on the skin, like you don't even feel it. It's such a win, and this stuff is awesome, so I love it. On the days that I'm not wearing makeup, I also really like the Dermalogica Invisible Physical Defense with SPF 30. This is more of like a typical sunscreen texture, but it's still really lightweight, and I also really love it because I find it doesn't clog my pores or make my skin feel super heavy. So these 2 sunscreens have been like the only face sunscreens that I've been wearing. So for obvious reasons, I have been disinfecting my hands like crazy. And with that comes very, very, very dry hands. So I've been using so much hand cream, and this guy from Glossier has been my favorite hand cream because it smells delicious. It works really well. I find it really makes my hands feel really nice and smooth. And I really love the packaging on this. It's really nice and sleek and compact. It fits nicely in my smaller size purse. So this is what it looks like. It's really nice and sleek and slim. And you kind of just pop the top open. You could squeeze it out. And then your hands are nice and silky smooth. If you're familiar with the Glossier You fragrance, I do find that this has a very similar scent. It's not spot on the exact same, but it's a very similar vibe. And that's actually one of my favorite fragrances, so I do really love the scent of this quite a bit because of that. And so I've been using this to death. Okay, so now let's talk about the makeup products that I've been loving. Now, just a little disclaimer. Just wanna say I'm very well aware that this isn't going to be a super out of the ordinary makeup look for me, but I mean, this is an everyday makeup look for a reason. It's pretty basic, but all the products here are A+++, so I hope you still get some good info out of it. So I'm actually first gonna start off with a moisturizer. This has been one of my favorite before makeup moisturizers. This is from Pharmacy and it's called the Daily Greens. And I really like this because it's a gel-based moisturizer, so it's very, very lightweight and it's actually quite cooling as well. So it's nice and refreshing when you apply it. And I just really like this because it's not super heavy. And especially in the summertime when I get really, really hot and sweaty, I don't want a super heavy moisturizer underneath my makeup because it's just going to make my makeup melt off of my face. And who wants that? But I do still have dry skin, obviously, so my skin still has to be nicely prepped, and this has been perfect. For my face primer, I am back on my Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. This has been a consistent favorite of mine for pretty much every season. I feel like I always go back to this. It's just a really nice moisturizing primer that kind of adds a really subtle glow to the face. It's a glowy primer that's just gonna make your skin look really nice and healthy, but it's not gonna give it an over the top glow. So even if you do have an oilier skin type, you can totally use this and it's not gonna make you look like your skin is wet. I also find that whenever I use this primer, specifically with this particular foundation, which is the Nude Sticks Tinted Cover, my foundation always looks so flawless. Makes it look like my pores don't exist. And on the days where I don't even want to apply foundation, sometimes I'll just put this primer on and I feel like it even makes a difference. Just this alone kind of just gives the skin a little bit of a nice boost. So like I said, I have been using my Nude Sticks Tinted Cover. This is in the shade Nude 3.5. This was my go-to foundation, I think, last summer. So this is definitely a very sheer foundation, but I do find in the summer when I get a little bit more tan, I don't really find that I gravitate towards foundations that have a ton of coverage, because when I'm more tanned, I find my redness isn't quite as noticeable. So I don't feel like I even really necessarily need a lot of coverage for my skin. So I like something really sheer and lightweight, and this really just fits the bill. And like I said, the combination of this foundation with that primer is kind of just perfect. So I'm just applying one pump all over my face, and I'm using this Sigma F80 airbrush. It definitely gives coverage, but it still allows a lot of my natural texture and my freckles to show through, which I do really like because I love when my freckles show through. For my concealers, I've been switching between these two guys. They're very similar to one another, so they're quite interchangeable. This is the Josie Maran Vibrancy and the Kosas, what are you even called? I'm not even sure, but it's the Kosas concealer. They only have one. These do give very similar effects to the under eyes. They're both very hydrating concealers. They're lightweight, but they still have some good, solid medium coverage to them. I would say the Josie Maran is probably my ultimate favorite. It's just been in my life a little bit longer, so I feel like I'm a little bit more committed to this particular product. It's just really, really good, and I find it's like one of those concealers that is lightweight but somehow still makes my under eyes look really flawless. I'm just gonna blend it out with this Zoeva 145. The Kosas concealer is really nice because it does have like a built-in eye cream to it, so it actually makes the under eyes look really nice and hydrated. So if you do have an issue with drier under eyes, that concealer is fantastic. The Vibrancy one does have a similar effect though too. But I think I do prefer it because I feel like it does kind of last a little bit better throughout the day. And it looks a little bit more flawless. So as much as I don't like powder, in the summertime, I do find it is really important because otherwise my makeup will literally just slide off of my face. And I've been getting back into the Becca Hydra Mist Set and Refresh powder. I kind of forgot about this stuff. When you apply it to the skin, it has this really strange wet and cooling sensation. And I find it also just does a really good job of making the skin look pretty flawless. So I'm just gonna take that on this Sigma F37 and I'm going to sweep this firstly underneath my eyes and also in the center of my face. For my bronzer and highlighter, I'm gonna be taking this Oma Double Take Sculpt and Strobe Duo Stick in number 3 Fair Lady. So this is a cream bronzer on one side and then a cream highlighter on the other. You guys know I love me my creams. This is a newer product in my life, but I've been really enjoying it. I find it blends really, really nicely. It's very pigmented, so you don't need a lot. And I like that it's a duo. So it's just quick and easy to swipe on, and you have 2 products in one. To blend that out, I'm gonna be taking this Sigma F74. And I kind of just like to tap it out. Like, look how pretty that color is. This color is kind of perfect. It does a great job of sculpting and warming up the skin at the same time. This cream is also nice and thick and pigmented, which is nice because I do find that that makes it last a little bit longer on the skin. It's not a very emollient and slippy formula, where it's gonna just slide off the skin after an hour. I have, however, been setting my cream bronzer with a powder just because I really want it to last throughout the entire day. So I've been using my Vesca Kiss by Santorini Soft Matte Bronzing Powder. I'm gonna take that same brush that I used to set, which probably isn't the best idea because next time I go into this, I'm probably gonna get bronzer everywhere. That's okay. And I'm just gonna pop that wherever I applied that cream just to kind of set it down. I just want like a really thin sheer layer of it. For my blush, I'm gonna be taking this Fenty Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Blush in the shade Petal Poppin'. This has been my favorite cream blush lately. This color is just so gorgeous. I feel like this corally color really just makes it look like you were sitting out in the sun. It's really pretty and very fresh looking for the summertime. So I'm going to grab that on this Sigma F53. And I pick it up directly from the compact and just kind of gently tap it on. It's a pretty sheer formula, so you don't have to be too careful with it. You can kind of just like haphazardly go in and you'll be fine. But look how fresh and gorgeous that blush color looks. I've been going very heavy with my blush lately, especially if I am just applying a cream, because creams do fade fairly quickly, especially cream blushes. So I've been pretty much applying like 30 layers of the blush on my first application so that it's very blushy. So by the end of the day, it's still there, but it's just a little bit softer. I also do like to apply a little bit kind of near my temples as well, and even across my nose. For my brows, I have pretty much been exclusively using brow pens because they do not go anywhere even if my face gets sweaty. Brow pens really do set in place and they're way more long wearing than a pencil or a powder. So I've been using this guy from Urban Decay. It's the Brow Blade in the shade Cool Cookie. And I'm not really going crazy with my brows. I'm just kind of filling in where I am a little bit sparse, so near the front. And I also like to extend the tail of my brow a little bit. With a brow pen, you kind of just want to be a little bit careful with it. You want to have a very light touch, like I'm barely putting any pressure onto my skin, because if you go in too hard, it will be a very intense brow look. So just keep that in mind. But before it completely sets, I do like to go in with a spoolie just to brush it out. And it will blend the color a little bit and soften. There you go. For my eyes, I have been doing wings again, but I've been using a brown liquid eyeliner instead of a black one just to kind of create a softer look. This one in particular is from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Feline Flick in the shade Super Brown, and I really like this one in particular because the brown color is just really gorgeous. It's a very warm and rich brown. For whatever reason, I do find whenever I apply a brown liquid eyeliner, I'm able to do it so much quicker because it's just so much less intimidating than a black. That took me maybe 30 seconds to do. I swear if this was the exact same eyeliner but in black, it would have taken me 3 times as long. I just have so much more confidence when it's a softer color. It's the funniest thing. For my lashes, I've been using my MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. I love this because it is quite waterproof and I find it just makes my lashes look really nice and fluttery, and also not too intense. The theme right now for my summer makeup is just kind of a softened version of my other everyday makeup looks. So just a little bit softer, a little bit fresher, but very similar. And I do only put the mascara on my upper lashes because I find no matter what, if I put mascara on my lower lashes, especially if it's hot out, it's going to go everywhere. I totally forgot to apply my lid shade, so I'm just gonna do it on top of the liner that I already applied and try not to disturb my mascara. But I have been taking my Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Highlighter Duo in Afternoon Snack and Mo Honey. I don't really love these as an actual cheek highlighter, but I absolutely do love it as a lid shade. So what I've been doing is I've kind of just been mixing the two together on my finger and just popping it all over my lid. It just gives this really gorgeous, glowy, bronzy effect to the lid. I love a good glowy lid for the summertime. It's like my go-to. I'm just gonna take a clean brush and just blend along the edge there. It's a little bit messy because I'm applying it above a liquid eyeliner and my mascara, but just gotta make it work. For my lips, I've kind of just been switching it up depending on how I'm feeling. I either go for something pretty bold and bright, or I've been doing just nothing on my lips and just putting on a clear gloss. So today I think I'm just gonna put on Fenty Sweet Mouth just because that's what's right next to me right now, and it's a perfect sheer glossy color, perfect for every day. But if you want to know what some of my favorite summery bright lip colors are, I just did a whole video going through all of them, so I'll link that down below if you want to check it out. And that completes the entire look. By the way, I just want to point out, I'm not even wearing highlighter, but the tops of my cheekbones still look so nice and glowy, and that's from the blush that I use. And I think also in combination with this primer does add that gorgeous glow to the skin. And this is just going to continue to get glowier throughout the day as I get hotter and sweatier, which is another reason why I don't really normally apply highlighter in the summertime, because I just don't really feel like it's totally necessary. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. Those are some of my favorite summer beauty products. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Give this video a big thumbs up, and of course, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And once again, thank you so much, Native, for partnering up with me on a portion of today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.